wanna talk smack, you in the right place. So take a step back before I get all up in your
remember, because I don't remember. I remember every bit of this.
You're the dudes holding on the phone line. Your voice will be heard, sir.
Next caller, please.
Jerry's gonna get him.
Fantasy sports and politics. Fantasy sports and politics. Fantasy sports and politics. Fantasy sports and politics.
Listeners are asking questions about this week's games, not Jerry's personal beef. So what's your thought?
What's up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages? It's me, Mr. FSP, doing what I do because I do it for you all day, every day. Look, all I can tell you is there's a lot going on. And since there's a lot going on, let's talk about it. People are getting hurt left and right in the NFL. Major stars and contributors to these teams. Does that mean they need to play more preseason games instead of sitting out? Talking about the stars now. If you look at it, I saw something on ESPN where a player's entire roster out. He or she drafted every player that happened to go out by week 2. They literally had no starting roster going into this week. That is nuts. So I'm going to talk about that today. Also, I'm going to talk a little bit about what's going on this week. Now, look, I don't know, where Jerry is or Q or anybody else is, but I'm going to give you what I got, right? Last week, I will admit, the fantasy god said, Vic, Indianapolis ain't going to do jack with Richardson, who, by the way, Jerry loves. Then the fantasy god said, Vic, the Cardinals going to womp the Rams. And oh, by the way, Cooper Kupp's going to be gone for several weeks. Then the Raiders turn around and beat the Ravens. Now listen, I was at the Cardinal-Rams game, and I was looking at all this stuff, and I was like, what in the bloody blue blazes is going on? But it didn't hit me until I got home and started looking at the Sunday night game and was like, oh my gosh, all my predictions look like boo-boo. But I'm going to still give it to you. I still am. If JT or Q come on, they can counteract what I say. If they don't, so be it. I'm not going to force anybody to do anything they don't want to do. But I'm going to continue to give you what I believe to be. Now, if it's right, it's right. If it's wrong, it's wrong. I'm not going, claim I'm Nostradamus. But I am damn good. Drop that bomb on you. I had to drop that bomb on you. I mean, hopefully you heard it. I don't know. But this is the way I felt after seeing all those daggone losses. It was a joke to me. I made mistakes, but it's okay because I'm a real G. I'm a real G, and I know what I'm doing. So, with that being said, this week and my my background's kind of making me look like I'm deformed, but I have some great stuff. What up, Chris? Ace. Hey, by the way, Chris, I looked at them daggone pictures of you when you were younger in the Air Force. I think you were like an airman or whatever. Dude, you look like you belong on Top Gun. I don't know what happened. I'm joking. But dude, you look like you was on Top Gun. Anyway, Anyway, let me get to the major stuff here. Mixon, freaking AJ Brown, freaking oh my gosh, George Kittle is now doubtful to play. What? Debo gone for several weeks. What? Jordan Love, after 1 week with a sprain or I believe it's sprain MCL, wants to play tomorrow? How in the bloody blue blazes does that happen? I don't know. But I want you guys to check it out. Let me know what's what. I honestly can't tell you because I don't know. There are a couple conversations going on in places that I frequent, right? And the word is the players are having these soft tissue injuries or injuries in general because they haven't played in the preseason. Now, I do it like this when I think about that. They have camp, they have mini camp, and they have preseason games, right? So training camp, mini camp, preseason games, install, stuff like that. Some of these players, high profile, don't necessarily participate fully in those events. Some don't play during or fully practice during mini camp, regular camp. They get some work in, but not a lot. It's when they do those live scrimmages with other teams that they get some work. But the quarterback's not allowed to get hit in those. They pull up a little bit on those players. It's not live action. Now, some teams do play their starters in preseason, especially when you have a young quarterback. Now, Caleb Williams only took 20 snaps out of the, I think, 3 games the Bears played. It's showing. But you got a player like who didn't play all preseason? Devontae Adams didn't play 1 lick of preseason, practiced somewhat during the camps. I mean, he practiced, of course, but the hard bang practice, I don't think he did much. And it wasn't his fault. He started out slow week 1. Week 2, that was vintage Devontae. That was vintage Devontae Adams. With that being said, he's one of few veteran players that have shown the chemistry, that has shown the ability to stay healthy thus far. Mixon's injury rolled up on his ankle. Love's injury rolled up on his ankle knee. Got it. But everybody else, Debo? Here's the crazy thing. Now, I know we can't control when somebody gets injured, when somebody does not get injured. But Evan Ingram gets a major injury during warmups for the game. Now he's out 3-4 weeks. Njoku in Cleveland took a nasty hit. He's out several weeks. I'm not saying it's preventable. I'm not saying preseason will be a large catalyst in stopping these things. But I think you got to have calluses a little bit. You got to have a little bit of callus on you in order to prepare for that season. Now, I get it. A player's been in the league 7, 8 years. They've got calluses. But if you're a team like the Raiders, who didn't make the playoffs, right? Let's use them for example. You're out from, let's say, mid-January, right? Because I think the last game's like early January. Mid-January through June, when you have to come back in. That's basically 6 months. Some people don't stay in complete football shape. They stay in good shape, but not football shape, because you're not getting hit left and right and all these other things happening to you. But are you ready to come back and play? I don't know. I really don't know. But data is saying these guys are getting damaged early. And there are things that are happening that are regular in an NFL game. It's not like somebody took a cheap shot and ended their career, or the foot got stuck in the ground and pulled their ACL or something. It's regular tackling, regular play. Speaking of tackling, how come the Cowboys couldn't do nothing against Alvin Kamara and the Saints? They couldn't tackle nothing. I'm only saying this because my buddy, Javier Perez, went with me to the game, and he's a Cowboy fan. And oh boy, I was eating him up about that game while we were waiting for the Cardinals game to start. Are the Cowboys fakers? I think so. I think the Cowboys are pretenders. I said it during the preseason that the Cowboys might finish third in the NFC East. That wasn't my bias. That wasn't me being a Commanders fan, because when we actually did the schedules, I actually had the Cowboys above Washington, but barely. But if they put a performance on against the Ravens, who let the Raiders come back and win, no excuse, not using Derrick Henry the way you probably should. If they lose at home again, a home again, because New Orleans came into Jerry's world and whooped them 44-19. Do you know Alvin Kamara outscored the entire Dallas Cowboy team by himself? Crazy work. Crazy work. Is this the last opportunity for Deshaun Watson to keep his job? I know they beat Jacksonville last week. Deshaun did not look good. Did not. Again, are there rumblings to let the young kid DRC come in and start his career in the NFL? He played decently last year. He came in for different plays, design plays, while Flacco was the quarterback. Myles Garrett has an injury to his foot. I don't know how long he's going to be out, but I'm telling you, that hot seat under Deshaun Watson isn't just from his legal issues. I really believe Deshaun Watson's on the hot seat because of his play. He is, I'm not even going to say an average quarterback right now. He's not even an average quarterback. Just my opinion. What else is going on this week? We got, I'm trying to think. Controversy. The shove. Now, to me, Aaron Rodgers and Saleh, I don't think they are on the same page at all. At all. I think this is a Buddy Ryan, Mike Ditka situation but just the quarterback and the head coach. Rodgers can say whatever he wanted after the game in the interview piece, saying that yeah, he's a shove guy and I shoved him whatever, but it's nothing to it. His demeanor and his expression, saying he wasn't expecting a hug, my guy, that's fine. But the way you looked when you shoved your head coach off of you on national TV and said, there's your 14 points or whatever it is he said, that's not a good look, my guy. Not at all. I really think that, and I like Aaron Rodgers. Don't get me wrong. I like Aaron Rodgers. But that is some prima donna BS. Just my opinion. You are showing up your head coach on national TV. There's no other game on. I'm not going to say national because Amazon is streamed all over the world, so it's a global platform. But to do that, I didn't like it. And then something else I noticed. He and Garrett Wilson are definitely not on the same page. And in order to make Garrett Wilson happy, he fed him the ball down the field on that one drive and got him that touchdown. If you are in the fantasy, as I am, the guy you want to bet on a same game parlay, you put at least 30 yards to Allen Lazard, at least. Breece Hall gets 50 yards or more, 25 each quarter. That's the easiest bet ever, especially when you know they're going to run them. Now, he missed it this game. He had like 22 or 23. No, he had 24 in the second half of the game, and he had 26 first half. So that was his 50. But I'm locking in on those two every time. Every time. I don't care what platform you're on. I would look at that as an opportunity to cash in because they're going to give the ball to Breece. That kid Allen's sneaky, bro. Give him some love. He's a very, very good kid. I think he went to Wisconsin. He's a rookie. So I'm not saying he's going to hit the rookie wall, but Breece Hall is that guy right now. So controversy with the Jets. They're 2-1. The Dolphins, this is what I want to talk to my guys about, but they're not here. And it's okay because I'll talk about it. But you guys, feel free to comment. The Dolphins are they up the creek without a paddle? Tua, listen, I don't do sign language. I'm not in the gang. But when you get hit and have a concussion and you do this involuntarily, I don't care if people are saying, wait, it's his choice. Listen to me. One, he's not wearing that protective dome thing that they're allowing players to wear. It looks ugly as all get out, but it's designed to help him and people like him. Two, it really wasn't his head that hit the hip of Damar Hamlin. His neck, shoulder, but I guess the smack was what caused it. That was not a big hit. Damar Hamlin did not hit him. Tua ran into Damar. If that can happen then, just imagine what could have happened had somebody slung him to the ground and hit the back of his head. Him not being the cause of the trauma, meaning his own force caused that concussion. So his body was tense and bracing for it but it still happened. Tua, listen, I'm not your brother, not your dad, not your cousin, none of that. But what I'm telling you is think about your life. You signed a contract and you're guaranteed a lot of money regardless. And I understand the competitor in you. I truly do. But the way your life is after football is way more important. Think about this. A very good quarterback will do 12, 15 years, right? In a backup capacity. A starting NFL quarterback that's good will do maybe 10 to 12. The exceptional Montana, Brady, they'll do all types of years. But Tua, you are not at that level. Your health, definitely not at that level. I think it's time to let it go, Tua. Hang it up. Who am I, though? Who am I? You don't know who I am. You don't care who I am. Your people probably watching this, if they are, don't really care. But as a father, I have 2 sons. If I saw that happen for a second time, and the way this one happened, I'm saying no. I'm saying, son, I know you're a grown man, but you're my son, and I don't want you to have to deal with mental issues or trauma that comes with brain injuries. And you're only 25, 26. You got a good 60 years left of life. It's not worth it. That's my plea. That's what I say. And hopefully he listens. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I got buttons now, y'all. So let's get to Miami. Are they done? I really think unless they get somebody in there big, because Skyler, nope. He's not getting Tyreek the ball like Tua would have. Miami might be fish out of water. I didn't see the guaranteed money isn't guaranteed if he retires, only if he is cut. You know what? I think, Chris, injury is part of that as well. So if the injury is the cause of the retirement and not, well, I'm tired of playing football, then he said he just read it. Chris said he just read it. I didn't see that the guaranteed money isn't guaranteed if he retires, only if he is cut. Now that's a problem. That's a problem. They're not going to cut Tua. I hate to say money is a driving factor in someone staying in a sport so violent as football. But if you're telling me, and I'm only going off what Chris is saying because he said he just read it, that money is only guaranteed if he's cut, he might force him to cut him. I mean, crazy things have happened. I don't know. But thank you for adding that, Chris. I didn't know that. What I will say, somebody needs to come in and take that team and steer them to the place that they can go. Because Skylar is only a stopgap. All right, Chris says, I'm looking because a friend said he read that he'll get 50 million. Let me tell you about the shady stuff. I should have read that part before I put it up there. I can imagine Top Gun. That's your new nickname, Top Gun. You look like a young Val Kilmer with black hair in those pictures on LinkedIn. Chris Etter, y'all, go look him up. LinkedIn, celebrating the Air Force's birthday, which is the little brother to the Army. I said, this dude looked like he a damn stud. Was he flying a jet? What the hell? But I know Chris didn't get in the jets. But anyway, Miami is I'm scared to even pick Miami this week. Morris is hurt and doubtful. He's going to be out. A Chain is a monster, but how long can he carry the load? Wright is going to be that back. If you saw how he played versus Buffalo, you got a week and a half to prepare for this game. I think it's going to be run heavy, honestly. But throwing that ball, Jonnu Smith is going to get a lot of targets. Only thing I don't like is seeing how he threw the ball to Jonnu Smith here, there, everywhere but here. I think Waddle takes a hit fantasy-wise because they're going to feed Tyreek either way. But I think Waddle is going to take a hit. I think you get a big boost in Jonnu Smith's numbers. I mean, he had a great game last Thursday night. So we'll see. But with that being the case, I don't know if you got a not you, I'm talking to everybody. If you got a plan for all these injuries. T. Higgins says he's coming back Monday night. That's great. I'm glad T. Higgins is coming back Monday night. Unfortunately, it's against my Commanders. But I have T. Higgins in mostly all of my lineups. But I say I hope you have a plan because there's a list, a long list of highly touted players that are out already or highly doubtful. So let's get to these games and let's talk about it, shall we? By the way, it's too late to pay for your Africa trip unless you're going to pay full price. No more discounts. I mean, if you sign up, you'll get the $100 discount, but you got to pay it all in one shot. So I'm not going to run that commercial anymore. But if you decide to jump on that, I'm glad. I hope to see you in Egypt. If not, I'll be planning something for next summer. I want to go on a safari. One of my former co-workers, he went on a safari, daytime, nighttime. I said, hell no, I'm not doing a nighttime safari. You out your mind? That's when they be hunting them lions and tigers. Oh no. Oh no. My Dikembe Mutombo. No. I'm not gonna be nobody's dinner. Ain't happening. Chris did one when he went to Kenya, which is cool. Well, I plan to do one as well. But I plan, it's either that next summer or it's going to be some exotic trip that I'm going to try to put together and do. I want to take a trip every summer for the rest of my life. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, let's get to these games. First game up is Cleveland hosting the Giants. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be very honest with you. Playing Washington is the only real opportunity I see the Giants having at winning a game this year. I'm not sure if they play the Panthers or not, but that would be the only other one. Cleveland's defense can hold Danny Dimes in them in way, way better check than Washington could. Way better check than Minnesota did. Even though Deshaun Watson isn't the guy that he was 4 years ago, I think Ford, and I saw somewhere somebody said sit Ford. I'm like, are you crazy? Against the Giants? Did you not see what Brandon Robinson and Austin Eckler just did to them? So Dante Foreman and Austin Eckler are going to have a field day. I mean, my opinion, I think Ford and Foreman are going to have a field day. And I don't expect much out of the Cleveland receiving corps because I don't see Watson doing that much. I think Watson is washed. I really think Deshaun Watson is washed. Just my opinion. Go for Kenya and hang out with the Maasai tribe. I got a friend that lives in Tanzania, Chris, and I'm gonna see if she can hook us up with some good information because she's from there. Went to high school here in America. I'm gonna see about Tanzania first. My guy that's in South Africa right now, he's in South Africa and he did it. So big shout out and happy birthday to Kobe McKnight. He and a few other people really, really inspired me to do this trip to Egypt. I like seeing what people are doing in travel because it gives me ideas, and I want to do it. And also want to, curate my own little travel adventure. But I love seeing that stuff. Inspires me. Anyway, I got to pick the Cleveland Browns in this game. There's no in the world. I don't care if it's the New York Giants opener. I don't care. Them jokers going to get smacked around. Like they stole something. Honestly, they're going to get torched, in my opinion. Cleveland, I'm going to go by 10. By 10. With that being the case, Chicago, Indy. Now, look, I know a lot of people have their opinion on Caleb Williams. A lot of them do. Caleb Williams isn't bad. Caleb Williams is actually a very good quarterback. However, that offensive line, garbage. Delete. Taking a book out of Matt Hardy. If you're a wrestling fan, you knew what I just did. If not, it's okay. That offensive line is going to get him placed on the injured reserve list. Keenan Allen, already out. He missed last week. I think he's going to miss this week. Rome Odunze, hurt, nicked up. But DJ Moore, all day, every day. And this goes to, and I really wish Jerry was here so he could defend the quarterback that he's been praising all summer. Richardson. who in 3 games, because, well, he got hurt, what, week 4 of last year? So 5 games, looks like a rookie, plays like a rookie, and is playing like a rookie that didn't play a lot of college football. And this is why I stayed away from Michael Pittman Jr. Literally, Michael Pittman Jr. is a talent, a great talent, but the quarterback ain't what it is. He's not it. He needs to study. He needs somebody to be under. He needs to be under a quarterback and learn. Now, did he learn anything under Gardner Minshew last year? I don't know. First couple games of the season, no. He's got Joe Flacco there now. Joe Flacco, who by all accounts, hit or miss. Hit or miss. But this is a game between 2 similar quarterbacks, except one wants to run because he's a linebacker playing quarterback, just being honest, with a massive running back that should be killing it every week, a good offensive line, and a decent set of receivers. But he's turning the ball over. He's making bad decisions throwing the ball and running with the ball. Flip side, Caleb can't seem to get a touchdown. Some people are saying he's a bust. I'm like, dude is not a bust. You're going to the 3rd game of the season. Your offensive line is garbage. Just understand, he is not going to be a superstar right away. Remember Peyton Manning threw like, 18, 20 interceptions his first year and was not as mobile? Fix the offensive line of Chicago and you'll fix Caleb Williams. I got the Bears getting their W because, one, they need it. And they need to be an offensive win. Defense has held them in the last 2 games. Defense won the first game. We'll see what happens. Houston at Minnesota. Now, look, this is going to be a serious game. C.J. Stroud seems to be the goods. Stephon Diggs isn't making that much noise. They're winning, right? It's early. But this is his first time returning to Minnesota since the miracle in Minnesota versus the Saints 10 years ago. Not the first time he's played Minnesota, the first time he's been in Minnesota on an opposing team. But he's not even the star. Did you know Justin Jefferson and Nico Collins are the 2 leading receivers in the NFL right now? That's only 2 weeks. But the average yards, I think Nico is like 99 and Justin Jefferson is like 106 or something like that. But Justin Jefferson came up limping during the 49ers game. I think Jordan Addison is already either ruled out or he's very questionable. Sam Darnold looks very good in that system. He is a system quarterback. That's what I wanted to say about Sam Darnold. He's not a bust. He's a system quarterback. If the Jets ran the system that he's running in Minnesota, you probably would have had a better product. He'd probably still be the quarterback. Excuse me. If the Panthers ran the system that he's currently in and gave him a little bit more time, instead of bringing in my boy Baker, probably could have been good. What's happening now, though, is Sam Darnold's finding a job next year, but it has to be in this system. Don't be surprised if Sam Darnold goes to Tim McVay and the Rams next year, because Matthew Stafford's time is coming up and he's only owed like $5 million guaranteed money next year. Then all the other money isn't guaranteed. So Sam Bradford is out the door next year with the Rams. I mean, not Sam Bradford. Stafford. Stafford is out the door next year. My opinion. He's only owed $5 million. And I can see Sam Darnold, which is the same system he's running in Minnesota, going over there because they want J.J. McCarthy. And the Vikings in this game are the underdogs. Rightfully so, but they're 2-2. I mean, both teams are 2-0, I should say. And I think it's going to be a very good game, but I've got Houston not walking away with it, but winning pretty decently, because I'm telling you, Brian Flores turned that defense around in 6 weeks last year. Minnesota's defense is very good. If Minnesota didn't have such a hard schedule, I would really consider having them as my, main defense, because they're balling. They are balling. Nico Collins, Stephon Diggs, Tank Dell hasn't even turned on yet. But the problem is Joe Mixon is out. And since Joe Mixon is out, that's a lot of problems, because that means Cam Akers becomes your running back. And Cam Akers is he was tearing it up this preseason. 2 repaired ACLs or MCLs and still balling. We'll see this week as he takes over the reins, and I think he'll do well. I've got them, the Houston Texans, winning that game. Not by much, but enough to say, okay, well, they are a true team. Here's the game. I'm going to doom. I'm locking in. And I'm telling you, the Eagles are going to beat the Saints. The Saints are fool's gold. I said it. They destroyed the Dallas Cowboys because Alvin Kamara couldn't be stopped. That just means the Dallas Cowboys front whatever, is boo-boo. Boo, boo, boo. Do I have a boo? I don't think I got a boo, but I got a. That's exactly the way I feel about the Dallas Cowboys front line. And Alvin Kamara proved it. 4 touchdowns, 3 on the ground. Conversely, the Saints defense, they locked down CeeDee Lamb in the second half, but think about this. Dak's not throwing to anybody else. He wasn't. So it made the Saints defense, their job, a lot easier. It's not going to happen this week. Jalen might not have A.J. Brown, but Jalen still has Saquon, who can catch the ball out the backfield, run the ball. He still has Smith, the Reaper, who can still catch. If he starts using Dallas Goedert more, he has another threat there. I hope they use Jahad Dotson, but they didn't. They used the other young guy to spread the ball around. Not AJ caliber. Not saying Dotson is, but I think Dotson can contribute a lot more if they get him the ball. And that defense isn't that bad. What was exposed about that defense Monday night? This is what got exposed. Don't put the rookie out there by himself. On that game-winning drive, Kirk Cousins threw on the rookie every play except the touchdown to Drake London. Look at the film. The rookie was covering Mooney all the way downfield. And that's who Kirk Cousins exploited. It didn't happen all game until to that last drive. Now, Philly has to show up their run defense because Bijan Robinson is a unique animal. Bijan Robinson is unique. And if you're going to face Alvin Kamara after he's had 2 great weeks, Alvin Kamara is due to have a letdown. I think he is. And I think it's going to be this week. But if you're going to allow Bijan Robinson to do that to you, Alvin Kamara is going to do just the same unless you get stout. Shaheed, he's got speed. So if you're playing a cover 4 like the Eagles were doing towards the end of the game, which was probably not the best thing to do, was prevent yourself from winning the game, you're going to have that bubble to keep Shaheed under wraps. But then you open up for Chris Olave, who has not bust out yet. I think he will. I think he's going to have a very good game this game. But I think the Eagles are going to win this game. That is my lock. The Eagles are underdogs in this game. No one would have thought that going into the season. Playing the Saints. And I get the Saints are at home. Excuse me. But the Eagles are 2.5-point underdogs in this game. And I don't think that's accurate. I know. People say the smart money is to put it on the Saints because A.J. Brown isn't playing. But I think the Eagles are more than A.J. Brown. I think you're going to see Jalen Hurts run more. Then you're going to see Saquon involved in the passing game more. And then you're going to see Dallas Goedert involved more. You're going to have that to happen in order to beat this team. Just my thoughts. But I'm picking the Eagles to win that game. Next game up, Chargers at Pittsburgh. Ooh, Nelly. Look at here. I want you to think about this. The Chargers have been running J.K. Dobbins like a madman. Right? And Herbert got hurt. Ribs. Let me see what Chris says first. Who is this coming in my yard? I just saw somebody come in my yard. And Victor, go see if that's the pool guy. That's in the yard, please. Go see if it's the pool guy. Somebody just go in the back. And I'm doing a live thing. Don't confront. If it's somebody that we need to confront, come get me. I don't play that mess, y'all. Yeah. Yeah, I got a pool guy, Chris, because I have a very big pool. Anyway. Chris says, I'm sure put the thump on those Saints. Okay, great. But let's go back to the next game, the Chargers and Pittsburgh. Look, if my guy, Justin Herbert, isn't playing, and Austin Easton or whatever his name is playing, I don't care who Pittsburgh puts out there at quarterback. Pittsburgh's going to win that game. If Herbert's there, I'm going to think about it. But since I got to make a pick now, I'm picking Pittsburgh because I don't know what the status of Herbert is. Okay. Okay, cool. I thought he was going to come Monday, not today.
I did too.
But okay. All right. Thank you, son.
Yep.
So anyway, the difference in quarterback play is a huge reason why I would have to pick Pittsburgh over the Chargers. Now, let's be clear. Fields has done nothing to change my mind about him. He has not won a game. This is going to be a time where I think he's going to have to win the game. If Herbert plays. If Herbert doesn't play, hand the ball to Najee, dump the ball off to Freiermuth, throw 1 or 2 passes to Pickens. Guys, if you're starting Pickens, I'm sorry, because he's not going to be that dog until Russell is the quarterback. Fields might take a shot or 2 for him, but he's only getting 3 targets. He's averaging 4 or 5 targets a game. The offensive coordinator is running the ball. And when he's calling pass plays, it's nothing spectacular. So I'm going to say it like this. I don't care if you like it or you don't like it. Learn to love it because I'm the best thing going today. Woo! If Herbert plays, I'm picking the Chargers. If Eason plays, I'm picking the Steelers. Plain and simple. I mean, that's how big of a difference that is to me. That quarterback play, I mean, it could have, if it's Rippin playing quarterback for the Chargers, I might still go to the Chargers because Rippin makes decent decisions. But Eason, nah, bro. Nah. Denver goes to Tampa. I don't know if Chris is going to be at this game or not, but Tampa Bay's on fire. Tampa shouldn't have beat Detroit. Shouldn't have, but they did. They did. They whooped my team's butt for sure. But Denver has been coming up short, man. I can see the potential in Denver in the next couple years under Bo Nix. This year just ain't their year, right? But I see the potential with Denver. Denver going down to Tampa Bay too? I don't think that's going to be – nothing's good going to happen for Denver. Lock number 2. Dum-dum. Tampa. So I got Philly and Tampa, right? And as Chris says, he says Tampa all day, but they are playing with massive confidence right now. I agree. Massive. I mean, Chris Godwin has been found again. He's no longer in the milk carton. He's their leading receiver. That number 3 receiver is doing well. The one thing I'm going to say is this. Cade Otton is getting left out in the cold. Cade Otton is a very good tight end. Very good tight end. But the third receiver is grabbing all of the balls that he would normally get. And it's not a bad thing, but I picked up Cade as a backup tight end because he was used pretty decently last year. And this year I thought he was going to emerge. I know it's only 2 games in, but we'll see. But Tampa Bay has that all day. Sorry, Denver. Another game I was wrong about last week, and I'm not afraid to say it, because the quarterback did not win the game. All right, let's keep it real. Quarterback didn't win the game. But Green Bay, Tennessee. Look, if they're rushing Love back from an MCL tear or sprain after 1 week, I don't think they got that much confidence in Malik. Now, did Malik win a game last week? Yes, he did. I didn't think they were going to win. Malik didn't win the game, but they won the game. I think Malik is he's going to see a defense in Tennessee that ain't playing games. Tennessee's defense is real. They are thorough. With that being the case, I was hoping Will Levis would take the next step this year. Will Levis has not. Will Levis has probably regressed a little bit. Be honest. I think he's on the hot seat because when your head coach balls you out on national TV and then in the press conference afterwards talks badly about you, and he didn't draft you. Now the GM did, but that coach didn't. You're not on a cool seat. I think you're on a hot seat. And if Green Bay comes into Tennessee and he performs the way he did last week, I think Will Levis might be sitting on the bench before the end of this game. And if Malik Willis comes in there, gets the W, I don't think it's going to be because of him, but, that's kind of cool. The team traded me away. They didn't see me having a future with him. I come back with a different team, a better team, and I get the W, great. But if they push Jordan Love out there tomorrow, to me, that says there's no confidence in the league. None. Because you have a guy that has a diagnosed sprained MCL, and you're trying to push him out there? I don't care what the player says. I just paid you. You're the future over the next umpteen years. If I lose you for 2 games, 3 games, okay. But if I lose you for the whole season and we're built to win now, that would be malpractice on that GM and that organization. Just my thought. So I'm going to say this. This is another if. If Jordan Love plays, Green Bay wins. I don't know if Jordan Love finishes the game, but Green Bay wins. If Malik Willis plays, Tennessee wins. Because think about it. Malik ran the scout team in Tennessee. So he knows the starting defense, and the starting defense definitely knows him. Definitely. Defensive coordinator schemed stuff up to beat him. Now, they fed Josh Jacobs like he was on the back of a UNICEF carton or something. Like, if you're not old enough, you don't know what UNICEF is, but he was one of them kids that needed food. And they fed Josh Jacobs heavily. I don't know if that's going to work this week against Tennessee's defense. I'm not sure if it will. We'll see. But that's my if. Love plays, Green Bay wins. Malik plays, Tennessee wins. So, yes, I'm on the fence on it, but too many variables. And that was, again, people getting injured. Next game. And, again, I wish Jerry was here or Q was here because I want their thoughts on what happened with Bryce Young. Is it Bryce Young's fault? Now, I know Jerry don't like short quarterbacks. I get it. Whatever. But is what's happening in Carolina fully on Young? I'm going to say yes and no. A fact that I just learned actually earlier this morning was that Bryce Young's girlfriend was seen with Maxie at the Eagles game Monday. So you're my girlfriend, but you're hanging out with Tyree Maxey at the Eagles game this past Monday night. So there could have been a lot of things going on in the kid's head because the girl is nice, but the girl has a history of being with Shadur Sanders. She was also dating another Alabama player when Young was at Alabama, before she started dating Young. And now she's hanging out with an NBA player. The same week you get benched. I think the kid has a lot going on. And the owner in Carolina is he's the new Dan Snyder, got his fingers in everything. And I think it was his call to bench him. But also, you got to think about this. If the players are going to Canellis and saying, hey, man, give Andy the reins right now because Andy Dalton will give us opportunity to win. This kid ain't doing it. But to me, I'm like, that offensive line is garbage. The defense isn't any good. I don't care if Andy Dalton's back there because if the offensive line can't protect for Andy or can't make holes for the run game, it doesn't even matter. Not at all. Not one bit. Vegas did a great comeback last week versus the Ravens. There's no way at home the Raiders lose this game. I'm just going to put it like that. No way. Ain't no way. Next up, Miami and Seattle. Now look, if Tua are playing this game, I'm giving it to Miami. But Tua's out on the road in Seattle. And Seattle's doing really well right now. Excuse me. I got to go with Seattle. I don't think Seattle is that much better than Miami, but the quarterback play is huge, huge. And I can't say that Miami's quarterback is that dude or that type of guy to get the ball to Tyreek, to get the ball to Jonnu, to get the ball to Waddle, and then just let the defense do their thing. Nobody. He's going to have to play versus Seattle's defense. Now, Geno is no rock star. Not by a long shot. But Geno has the weapons and has the ability to lead that team. Zach Charbonnet is starting again, if I'm not mistaken, and that's a good thing for the Seahawks because you don't want to rush back Walker. He's had an oblique issue every year he's been in the NFL. Every year. He misses 2 or 3 games. Let Zach do his thing. We'll see. All right. I got to go with Seattle on that. Next game. I'll be at this game. Me and my oldest son will be at this game. Detroit travels here to Arizona. And Arizona put the womp on the Rams. I was not expecting that. Not at all. But Detroit is a different beast. Totally different beast. Now, Kyler's going to get his stuff. Marvin's going to get his stuff. McBride's going to get his stuff. I think it's going to be a very high-scoring game. I really think it will be. The way it looks to me, the Lions, they're in I'm not going to lose back-to-back game mode. Again, I said they shouldn't have lost to Tampa Bay, but they did. They're coming down here to prove a point that they are the beast up north. And any team that they play will understand why they are. Now, will it be a tit for tat game? I think so. I think so. But I got the Lions pulling it out. Listen to the score. I think it's going to be a lot of scoring. 35-21. 35-21. But I got to go with the Lions. Next game up. Baltimore, Dallas. Now, look, I already told you about Dallas. Baltimore should not be 0-2, but they are. They will not be 0-3. They will not be 0-3. Lamar and company are going to do their thing. They are really going to do their thing. And when they do their thing, seeing what Alvin Kamara did to that Dallas defense, they better give the ball to Derrick Henry. I don't care what the plan was. Give it to Derrick Henry. And I think Derrick was a little salty that Dallas never called him. Well, time to give him a reason to regret not calling him. I want Derrick Henry to get $150. I don't know if he's going to get $150, but I want to get $150. But I got to pick Baltimore in this game. Baltimore's going to win this game. They're not going 0-3. San Fran at the Rams. And I know San Fran has lost CMC. They lost Debo. Probably not going to have George Kittle. But look, the Rams have lost everybody on offense. And they cannot stop the run. So Mason is going to have a field day. Ayuk is going to have a field day. What's the other kid? Jennings, the receiver, should have a field day. But what I'm telling you is the Rams are so depleted. This is going to be a laughable game. Normally, divisional games are close. Last week, Arizona and the Cardinals are divisional rivals, right? They whooped that butt like they stole something. San Fran's going to be even worse on them. Lock number 3, dum-dum. San Fran easily over the Rams. So I got Philly. I got Philly. I got San Fran, and what was the other game? Philly, San Fran, Cleveland. Philly, Cleveland, Philly, San Fran, and the Raiders. We go the Raiders too. So that's 4. Cleveland, Philly, Raiders, San Fran. Oh, you 2 more people. Oh, you 2 more. And I don't think I got 2 more. Woo. I don't want to give you Baltimore as a lock. I don't. But I am. I'm going to give you Baltimore as a lock. So that's 5. Because these last 3 games, to me, they're tough to call. And the reason why, because I'm talking about Kansas City at Atlanta. Atlanta, they got it together at the end of that game. Yoga for change, Tampa. Hold on. Chris put some stuff up. I didn't even see what he put. Let's put it up here. He says, if the Ravens fall to 0-3, I have to call all of my Purple Bird friends to make sure they're okay. Yeah, you will. A certain Mike might need that call too. Yoga for change, Tampa. I thought you had Tampa on lock. Oh, I did. I apologize, Chris. You are absolutely right. It wasn't Cleveland, but I'm gonna throw Cleveland in there. So that'll make my 6. Cleveland, Philly, Tampa, the Raiders. Baltimore's not really a lock, but I'm gonna give it to them. And San Fran. But you know what? I'm gonna take Baltimore out. I'm gonna take Baltimore out because I'm putting Kansas City in as a lock. Here's why. No. Yes. Leave Baltimore in there. Leave Baltimore in there. So that's what I got. Okay. Kansas City at Atlanta. Atlanta did very well, right? They won that game, but they showed me a lot of flaws, man. They showed me a lot of flaws. And even though Pacheco is on IR, Steele and Pirine are still solid running backs. They are still solid running backs. You got Pat Mahomes, Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, and Travis Kelce. I know it's Arthur Blank's induction into the Ring of Honor at the stadium, and they're giving away like free hot dogs, soda, and something else. But this is going to get ugly. I think it's going to be back and forth. And I just think Kansas City has a way better shot at putting it away than Atlanta does at winning the game. Philly is good, but Kansas City is better. And I think with Pat Mahomes at the helm, Kansas City makes light work of Atlanta. I think Atlanta gets some garbage time TDs, though. I do think that. I got to go with Kansas City. Buffalo hosts Jacksonville. This is a Monday night game, the early Monday night game. Hey, Buffalo looking a lot better than I thought. A lot better. Jacksonville is not holding up their end. I think they're going to stay 0-2. They'll go to 0-3. Injuries, lack of consistency from Jacksonville is a problem. And last week, Chris told us Peterson's on the hot seat. And I think they're going to go to 0-3, playing Buffalo, who looks like they're on fire right now. And I don't know how hot that seat's going to be even further, Chris. But I'm going to ask, if they go 0-3, is Doug Peterson that closer to being out the door? I don't know. Remember, I believe it was the defensive coordinator who got fired last year. He said that even though he's gone, the problem is still in the building. That's rough. That's rough. All right, here we go. Chris says, if the Jags go 0-3, Peterson is gone. Mac Jones gets promoted, and it's a Baker Mayfield 2.0. You know what? I was thinking that maybe Mac Jones gets called up to start. But then I thought, the name of the stadium is now Trevor Stadium. You just paid Trevor Lawrence. You cannot bench Trevor Lawrence. You can't. Mac Jones going to a different team is probably something I would consider. Sending Mac Jones to the Dolphins makes a lot of sense right now to me. I like Mac Jones with Tyreek, Waddle, and Nim than I like Skyler. But again, inter-conference, are you willing to make that trade, knowing that that's a team, if you get your stuff together, you're going to have to face? I don't know. But I could see Mac Jones going to Miami being a long-term solution that is cheap. And you say can't throw a stick here and not hit someone with a Trevor Lawrence jersey. Well, how many Trevor Lawrence jerseys will there be if they go 0-3? Think about that. Sunshine got a lot of money, but he's not winning. All right. And I do like Mac Jones to Miami as well. I don't know if Miami likes Mac Jones to Miami, but I would do that as a surefire backup and a possible future if Tua decides, hey, that's enough. Or if your doctors say, hey, Tua, that's enough. All right, last game, near and dear to my heart. And I understand my team. I truly do. I truly understand my team. That's the Commanders and the Bengals. Here's the thing. T. Higgins is playing. Our secondary is doo-doo. When it comes to the same day or same game parlays, I'm playing that one. T. Higgins to score, Jamar Chase to score, Jalen Daniels running over 50 yards. Yeah, I'm cashing in on that. The Bengals get off the snide from 0-2 to be 1-2. Washington becomes 1-2. I'm just telling you, I think I love my team. I really do. But we can't cover to save our ass. And you got Jamar Chase and T. Higgins coming to town. Joe Burrow's going to throw for 300 yards. Easy. Book it. That's my final pick for the 6. Cincinnati over Washington. I love my team, but I'm going to call a spade a spade. We can't cover anybody. And you got those two studs, it's a wrap. Well, with that being said, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I appreciate you all. What I do it for you every week, whether I'm solo dolo or somebody decides to show up. If it's, just me, then I'm good. Why? Because it's me, it's Mr. FSP, Mr. Fantasy Sports and Politics. You're welcome, Chris. Thank you for always being a contributor. I appreciate you, my brother. Top Gun. That's your new nickname, Top Gun. But with that being said, next week, week 4, we're going to talk about it. And next week, I'm going to be at the Chargers game. I mean, the Cardinals game when the Commanders come here to play the Cardinals. And I'll tell you right now, I'm picking the Commanders to win that game. We might lose it, but I'm picking the Commanders to win that game because I love my team. And I'm going to be there. And all my Commanders regalia. But anyway, with that being said, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I greatly, greatly appreciate you all. And look, it ain't no thing but a chicken wing. You know what I'm saying? A brother like me, I'm going to always be all right. We going to be all right. And I will see y'all next week.
Fantasy, sports, and politics.
Get ready to rumble!
You wanna talk smack? You in the right place. So take a step back before I get all up in your
Remember,
face.
because I don't remember. I remember every bit of this.
You're the dudes holding on the phone line. Your voice will be heard, sir.
Next caller, please.
Oh!
Eric's going to get him.
Fantasy, sports, and politics. Fantasy, sports, and politics. Fantasy, sports, and politics. Fantasy, sports, and politics.
listeners are asking questions about this week's